Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Happy Tuesday, lovelies. It is Transformational Tip Tuesday. Say that fast 3 times. Who's in the house? Come on down. I'd love to say hello and see who's here. Let's just start there, shall we? I'm trying to do up my sleeves. It's a little chilly here today. There's Catherine. Hi. Good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. There's my girl Yvonne from Whittier. Got to shout out to the Whittier girls. There's Helen and Kristen's in the house. Woo-hooing. Hello. Welcome. Julie's in the house. It's day 2, right? Right, Jackie? It is day 2 of our illegal hot milk sprint. You know exactly what I'm saying. There's Denise. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. This is the deal. I accidentally said that this today is going to be it. Marianne and Anna, they all know. Joanne knows as well that I made a mistake. Sprinting's supposed to go next week with zone 2, and I blew it. Okay? You guys going to forgive me? So we're illegally sprinting this week, and then next week we're going to start the collagen challenge. I just can't keep up. Anyway, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, if this is your first time here, welcome to the Daily Dish. This is our daily show, Monday through Saturday, where we bring vibrancy back into your everyday life, heart, mind, body, and soul. We understand as women that when we try to divorce ourselves from our bodies with all these crazy nonsense diets that are out there, or just living with one certain thing and not taking all of our lives into an account, we're pretty unhappy. And if we want vibrancy, it means we address everything, you know? Not to overwhelm ourselves, not to pile on, but to say good food, good thoughts, a healthy relationship with our people, all of that. It all adds up. Makes us feel good, doesn't it? Anyway, hi Angie, good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. Anyway, our girls, Amber and Jenny are there. I shouldn't call them girls, I'll call them women, I'll call them ladies, I'll call them lovelies. How about our head lovelies? They're in the house and they're taking notes and they're saying hello to you and welcome everyone in. This is going to be, a great week. Even though we're not supposed to be sprinting, come on. You know, you can do it this way. Patsy said she's badass and illegal. Yep, we're using the ass word here. Badassery is part of our whole thing, right? So anyway, I'm just so glad that you're all here. And listen, we are going to lift ourselves up to the next level, illegally or legally, however we want to do this, because today is Transformational Tip Tuesday. And I've got some good things for you. And guess what? It is really, honest to God, the real Groundhog Day. The real Groundhog Day. The one that's on the calendar. You know, the one that everybody's talking about. Puxatawny, whatever his name is, Pete. Well, we have a white squirrel here. I don't know what the squirrel's name is, though. We have a white squirrel. We have white squirrels in Brevard, North Carolina, okay? We have a white squirrel that we go and see if he's got his shadow hanging out. So I don't know if they're doing that this year or not, but I just think it's funny. They're saying, okay, Pennsylvania, show me your groundhog. I will up you with a different rodent. I'm going to bring out the white squirrel. You guys don't have white squirrels. Nobody has white squirrels. We have white squirrels. Seriously. We'll bring out the white squirrels. All right. Anyway, so today, yes, we're going to be talking about Groundhog Day because we want to get beyond having that kind of a life. Amen to that. And what we want to do is live a life that's on the level of vibrancy. And how do we get there? You know, it isn't just one thing. If it was just one thing, well, we'd all be, done. You know, what is the founder of CD Baby? I can't remember his name. He said if it was just a matter of information, we'd all have 6-pack abs and be billionaires. true? There's so much information out there. It's not about, I'm going to tell you 1000% people always are saying, well, what's the plan? And let's take a look at the diet. And what do you do when you get a book, right? When you get this so-called diet book, what do? The first thing we do is look at the plan, because we think that's where all the secret stuff is hidden. And it's not at all, because your secret stuff is hidden right up here. And you know what? We can deal with that. We can get out of Groundhog Day. We can get into living our lives on purpose, the way that we want, with vibrancy attached to everything that we do. I say yeah to that, right? I'm saying I want that. I don't want Bill Murray's existence. Did you see the movie, by the way? I feel like it's almost obligation, like I watch every Christmas, I watch It's a Wonderful Life. Well, on Groundhog's Day, it's time to trot out the Bill Murray movie. I love it because the lessons there are profound. And yet we're going to, talk about what it all means to us, because that's how we roll. So how about a quote of the week, huh? Our new quote of the week. It's so good. It's we started it on Saturday. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your unguarded thoughts. Drop the mic. Or Cosmic 2x4. Have you noticed that when your thoughts just go flying away and you don't rein them in, that it can take you down a really dark path? And I want to keep out of dark paths. Dark paths, how has that ever served you? Huh? Never. Never. It's never helped us out. It's never gotten us to the place that we want to get. It's never done one thing for us except to remind us of our inadequacies, our failures, our flaws, and all the other stuff. So let's make a pact, shall we? A Pinkies Up pact, that we're done with that. We are done with that. Now, we might not be perfect, far from it, and we won't see perfect this side of glory, but can we at least put in excellence at the end of this? Can we at least say, we are going to live our lives excellently, we're going to live our lives on purpose, and we are going to be those women who make the decision to leave Groundhog Day in its proper perspective on February 2nd, right? Let's just leave it there. Let's leave it there. There you go. Joanne's got her pinkies up. I've got my pinkies up. And if you're wondering what a pinkies up thing, and we will shout it out and all of that, it's our pinky swear. It's our in solidarity with each other, because we are a community that are on purpose seeking one another, because we know that community is nothing without connection. Nothing without connection, and we want that all day long. I know I do. I need that, And if you were there last night, we did a whole webinar on the collagen challenge. Our collagen challenges, we go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. You know why? Because of results, and you know what else? Also because of just that whole idea of momentum. When we do momentum, when we get momentum under our like a bug, like it gets into us, we get momentum handled, it's easy. Have you noticed how much simpler it is than, just having to clean up constantly? It's sort of like, it's one project to the next project to the next project. It's less mess, I think. We're just talking about doing our master bathroom, and I just ordered the vanity and everything like that. And I said, okay, so there's going to be 2 pieces of plastic on one side of the bathroom, on the other, we'll cut it up so to keep the dust down. But projects are better when you just get in there, get it done, and then do the big cleanup. And we're constantly in this place of sprinting one week, and then the next week we're just game on, bring on the wings, the potato chips, and the ice cream. And it's like we're sitting in front of the Super Bowl thing for then we had to clean all up again. So go check it out. Go check out the replay from last night, savingdinner.com/collagen, and learn why collagen is such an incredible protein. It's structural for sure. I mean, everything about, collagen is structural, but it's also a beauty protein. Yup. I'm going to show you pictures of me, 2013, 2018, and 2020. You can see the jawline, and it's absolutely, it's irrefutable on how well this stuff works. So I want you to go check it out, savingdinner.com/collagen. Now, speaking of environments, even though we weren't quite speaking of environments, but I'm just going to throw it down, right? environments. Listen, when you set your environment up for success, and when things are all around you telling you what it is that you want, you're going to start to see the needle move, aren't you? Instead of getting into your head with all the negativity, because we all have that. We all need to just, go on the pancake diet and flip those thoughts, don't we? But instead, if we can set up our rooms, our offices, our bedrooms, our bathrooms, our cars for success, and we start seeing the things in there that remind us of our worth, that remind us of our purpose, and remind us of whose we are, then we're gonna start seeing some different things. Here is what is sitting on my desk right now, because this is my word of the year. Part of courage is simple consistency, from Peggy Noonan. Did you see the cute little wooden stand that it's sitting on? That is from our quote deck. Isn't that so cute? We got 52 of these cards, and we keep them purposely on our desk in a place where we can see it. This is my reminder. This is what I need right now, so I'm going to keep it out. But there's so many other ones. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see if I've got something that you haven't seen. If you doubt your power, then you give power to your doubts. Thank you, Diane von Furstenberg. Come on. Hal Elrod. Let today be the day you give up who you've been for who you can become. All of these are cosmic 2x4s. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. Now she would know. Anyway, you can check these out at savingdinner.com/quote, because these are beautiful quotes. All of these quotes had meaning to us on the Saving Dinner team, and has meaning for you because you have commented on these, and we put these out every single week. I give you a quote of the day or a quote for the week, and then we also collect them up, and that's how they get put into this quote deck. So I invite you to that, savingdinner.com/quote. Go get 2. If you get 2, you're going to get free shipping. Wouldn't that be a great Valentine's Day for someone you love? I'm telling you, I'm sending my daughter some of these because I bought her a bra. I mean, can I just tell you everything that I do in my life? Yeah, that's so funny. Anyway, yeah. So, here you go. What do you think of these? Has anybody else had these? Tried this Get Lean CLA? This has amazing studies. If you go check out CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, what this does is it helps to reduce belly fat and thigh fat. They had me at thighs. And I'm serious. I couldn't believe it, just taking it consistently. So, I'm looking at my thighs and going, really? Can you do a little more work here? But anyway, it works with your body. This is just amazing stuff. And you can get these. You can get this this is our supplement of the week. Go to savingdinner.com/show. Here's the thing. And Mark just went to Costco last night. He told me $600. Hello. But he got all the things, and every refrigerator, every freezer, everything is stuffed full. But you know what? I like a bargain. I like finding things on sale. It's like why I bought my daughter a bra. I mean, it was like there were $60 bras on sale for $12. I'm on that. So I got one too, and I got her one as well. And so what we do here is every single week I do a big buy. Well, we do it 4 times a month, a big buy. And that means we pass our savings on to you. CLA was a big buy that we did. And that means if you put 4 in your cart, you will be charged for 3. That's it. And you'll get free shipping. That's huge. It's a massive savings. This is how you should be buying your supplements from me. I'm telling you, savingdinner.com/show to go get it. I'm not kidding you. It's not like here's $10 off. It's a free bottle. That's a lot. Mary, go to soma.com. I like Soma stuff. And it's just really super comfortable. It's kind of a blush pink color, and I'm wearing it now. Anyway, $12. Come on, that's a good price. Our mugs, this is a mindful mug. Everybody loves a mindful mug because a mindful mug puts us back into the place of being mindful when we eat. Have you noticed the difference? Mindless eating and just looking at the wreckage of all the food that you ate versus being mindful. Well, this is a cue, this mug is a cue to bring you back to center so that you can be smart on getting really granular with your meal, being on target trifecta, protein, fat, fiber, getting that meal together, and then being present with your meal, enjoying it, having gratitude for it. There's a whole different level of living. Otherwise it's Groundhog existence. It is Groundhog Day existence otherwise when we're mindless. That's exactly what this is all about. So check this out at savingdinner.com/mug. And isn't it so cute? Don't get mad about the results you didn't earn from the work you didn't do. Stop it. Stop it right now. It says mindful mug, Pinkies Up cup on the back, and savingdinner.com, of course. You can get them free. You can pay $5 for them, or you can pay full price for $10. It's up to you. It just depends on what you're buying, and it'll tell you all about it and the whole idea behind it. We need these clues in our lives to help trigger us to be thinking and not just automatic piloting everything. I told you yesterday, I will automatic pilot all day long my cleaning of my toilet. I don't need to be mindful cleaning a toilet, but I do need to be mindful when I'm sitting in front of a meal, because otherwise it's like, vacuum cleaner, eating so fast, and then being hungry and wanting more when I don't need it. It's really, speaking of fascinating, I've been doing a little bit of a deep dive into this because I don't like the context of it. And they found, longevity studies have found that one of the ways in which to extend longevity, calorie deprivation. Calorie deprivation. I don't like that. But on the other hand, maybe we're just eating too much. And the reason we're eating too much is because we eat like I do, Hoover vacuum cleaner and fast. There has never been a reward for speed eating unless you do hot dog eating contests and all of that. And then, God help you. I can't imagine how unhealthy those poor people must be who do that for a living. Can you imagine eating hundreds of hot dogs? Gosh, disgusting. Anyway, am I talking too much? Probably. Anyway, have I talked about everything? If you want to get our show notes, we have show notes that go out every day after the day after. So you're getting yesterday's notes this morning. All you have to do is go to Saving Dinner and you can get our notes. Just sign up for the newsletter. It is that simple. We don't like to make it hard. We just want it simple. And you'll also get great recipes. You'll get great deals. You'll hear about everything before everything has happened. That's just what we have. And then the other thing too, while you're there, if you've got a question, send it into support@savingdinner.com. I'll answer it on Friday. We do Q&A every single Friday, and nothing is off limits so far. We shall see. That's a double dog dare you, by the way. Let's see what you can send in. See if you can stump me. That'll be fun. Anyway, today really is Groundhog Day. With all sincerity, it is February 2nd. It is Groundhog Day. And I've talked about Groundhog Day a number of times in that we are all susceptible to this. Bruce Lipton wrote this fabulous book called The Biology of Belief. And in that book, he talks about how 95% of our living is done in our unconscious brain. And that is, and you understand what that is if you've ever gotten into a car, driven somewhere and just went, oh shoot, that's kind of scary. How did I even get here? We've all done it. But can you imagine living 95% of your life like that, where you just all of a sudden are looking around and you're going, oh my gosh, it's 2021. I mean, like I walked through 2020 like a zombie. Well, a lot of us did. It was a weird, a weird year last year. Most of it spent, dealing with a pandemic, of course. But the point is that when we're living our lives like this, when we're living our lives where it's just like day in, day out, doing the same thing without much thought to anything, we find ourselves kind of in a numb situation where we're really not happy in our lives. We're not hating our lives either, or some of us are, or we're just like, how is this just the same thing day in and day out? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, what we call it is there's an Oregon Trail, and if you've ever heard of the Oregon Trail, it was started in like 1860, and it went from Minnesota, I believe, all the way to Oregon, and 100, it started with the trappers and all those guys who were, trading furs and what have you. But then all of a sudden settlers started coming west. And what they did was they followed the Oregon Trail. Easy to find because of the ruts in the road. And 160 years later, as a matter of fact, Marla was telling me that she's actually seen part of the Oregon Trail where you can still see those ruts in the trail. Can you imagine seeing that after all those years, after rain and weather and everything else, those ruts are still there? That's our brain. Our brains are like that. Our brains are like that in that we create these ruts in our brains. They're neurosynaptic connections, but it's a rut nonetheless. And it's what we always fall into. It's what we've always done. It is the comfortable thing to do. And oftentimes we don't even think about what it is. But when we get into this Oregon Trail of like, I always get up, I always do this, and I always do that, and my life sucks, or whatever it is that you're doing, we have to start thinking in disruptive terms. We have to bring ourselves back to present. This is why I was talking to you about, our mindful mugs. Because mindlessness is behind this whole idea of the Oregon Trail and behind this whole idea of living life on repeat without anything ever changing. And in the movie Groundhog Day, if you've seen that, it wasn't until the hero Bill Murray connected the dots on what true connection was. And instead of trying to, he did everything, you have to watch the movie to go through it, but he was always trying to outsmart the system and never really fully connected with himself and connected with the woman he found out that he loved later. Now, of course, it's movie stuff or whatever, but it's true in that going past all of this garbage and going to the place of genuine connection is what gets us out of that. When we are trying to flip new habits, for example, get into new habits and flip out the old ones and stuff that no longer serves us, it is the same kind of a thing. In order to do that, we have to connect with what it is that we truly want. And I'm here to tell you right now that I believe the biggest block is what's coming out of our mouth and what's coming out of our lives are incongruent. In other words, we're talking about things, it would be like an Olympic boxer or whatever talking about how he's getting his game on, and really what he's doing is sitting at home on his can, eating chips and watching Netflix. He's not doing anything. This idea of the Olympics is just a dream and not something that he's really doing. He's out of congruency with what it is that he's doing. And we've got to be that way. We've got to be in congruency. And these are the things, I've got 5 things really that are going to help you get out of this Groundhog Day existence and into a life that's meaningful, mindful, and purposeful. Because we can't find any of these things if we just keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's how we destroy our lives, actually. And if we want to create new Oregon trails in our brains, if we want to create new neurosynaptic connections in our brain, then we have to do things, and we have to be aware of all of this. And our awareness, that awareness is the light that we need on that highway so that we can see where it is that we're going. Awareness takes us to a different level of living completely. So the first thing we need to do is we need to look at congruency, because when our thoughts and our habits and what we're doing and what's showing up in our lives are out of balance, then we're out of balance and we never quite feel like we're living our best lives, because we're not. We're completely incongruent. Everything's out of balance and everything is out of whack. So what happens when we put things in balance? This is the part where this is the tip, what I would call the tipping point, where it's a little difficult. But if we can say, I am a fitness buff, for example, this is one of the things that I'm doing with myself to create a much more consistent, there it is again, consistent habit of being fit, because fitness is my goal. But then to get this, I've got to practice it, right? So I am using I am statements. That's really number 2. But, stay with me for a minute. But when we do this, what happens is when we push ourselves to this little place of just saying, okay, here's where the incongruency lies. Here's what I need to do instead. and use an I am statement, for example, and set the intention as well. That's number 2. But when you do this, you will create motivation to do it again. Motivation to do it again. And you know, motivation comes from action. It doesn't show up on your doorstep. Motivation always comes from that. So if we can get if we can take our thought, flip the action, just do it anyway, then we're going to find ourselves in the place of feeling really good about that, which helps to put us in congruency, which puts us into being motivated to do it again, and which puts us in the place to understand that this creates momentum. It's physics. It can't help but create momentum. You know, one domino down, there goes the next one, there goes the next one. And that equals, you know what I'm going to say, right? Magic. Because all of these things go together, but it starts with a thought. It starts with the thought. So if we understand that we've got to disrupt this Oregon Trail in our head, we've got to disrupt Groundhog Day, then we can get that done. Not only can we get it done, but we are going to start seeing quick results, and we'll start feeling different about ourselves. And one of the things that you can do to help prop that up as you're doing it, as you're getting to that tipping place, is to start with intention. Start with gratitude. Start with your journal. Start in the morning with the I am statements. You know, I am a fitness buff. That's why I told you that's one of mine. I am fit, therefore I do this. I am strong, therefore I lift heavy things. I am statements declare who you are, and it's super powerful. When we use that, we have to understand there is some magic in that statement, and it's also intentional. Keeping your intentional statements intentional, but also keeping them in the positive and keeping them in the present tense is super powerful. I am, meaning that's what you do. That's who you are. You become that as you declare that. Make sense? Number 3, I believe that this is one of the things, this is like me pulling the rug right out from underneath you. You're going to love this. Do something spontaneous. I was thinking about that. And I thought, what about doing something really fun and spontaneous for yourself or for your spouse or for your kids? Do something fun. If it's your children, make a tent for your dining room table and have everybody eat with candlelight or something underneath, a fake candlelight so you don't let the place on fire, but eat underneath the table instead of on top of the table. Do something disruptive and spontaneous. That's fun. Send yourself flowers, send your spouse flowers, do something creative and off the hook. Or spontaneous, like an illegal sprint, says Sarah. Yes, like an illegal sprint. Spontaneity, though, sparks different ideas, and it sparks newness, and it's a disruptor in a very good way. That's what we want, right? We want disruption. We don't want to keep this automatic pilot going. Like I said, choose the things you want for automatic pilot and choose the intentional living that you want to be present with. That's why I was telling you about, like, it didn't even occur to me until I was like in my late 50s that maybe I should be present with my meals. Because I can't even tell you how many times I ate at the computer, ate in front of the TV or whatever, when I was single and by myself. I'm not talking about with my kids or anything like that. But then I thought, I deserve that kind of attention too. I deserve to sit and be with my meal. I deserve it. One of the things that I did one time when I was just trying to get this lesson learned and I was living by myself is I lit a candle. I poured a glass of wine in a nice wine glass, not in, a mason jar. And I sat and had a nice dinner with a cloth napkin on my lap, putting my fork down and being very intentional about it. And it was a disruptor, and it made me pay attention to not eating like a Hoover vacuum, not eating like it's a speed contest of some sort, but instead being very present with our food. A lot of us need that lesson. So if that's you, then plan something like this, but be spontaneous. Bring spontaneity back into your life in a way that's intentional and in a way that's there to pull the plug out from the Groundhog machine. Yeah? And number 4 is to try new things. You know, when we try new things, it's making our brain think of something new. If you've always done crossword puzzles, do some Sudoku. If you've always done Sudoku, do some crossword puzzles. Throw that in. Brush your teeth with your opposing hand. Try that. I've been trying that, and it just drives me crazy, you know, because I'm right-handed and Mark's left-handed, so I watch and I'm just like, okay, just do like Mark, you know, and I use my Sonicare toothbrush. It takes 2 minutes to brush your teeth, you know, and so I'm sitting there with the Sonicare, and it just feels very awkward. But it's also disrupting things in my brain and helping me to be a disruptor. It's a really good idea. You can try that with playing ping pong. Ooh, I haven't done that, but I did slay Mark, by the way. We had our first ping pong match, and I beat him in the first 2 games. It's 2 out of 3. I beat him first game, second game. I just want to put that out there. So you can send me congratulations later. Try reading new books. Try a new language. You can go to duolingo.com and it's free. You can learn a language. We're shut down right now, but why not plan a trip to France in September and surprise your spouse and speak French? You know, why not? Every single day you can teach yourself something a little bit new, a little bit different. If you are a crocheter, why don't you start needle pointing or knitting or something and bring in a different activity? But the point is to be shifting things around so that your brain is saying, okay, this chick means business. You know, she's on it. And when you're on it, you've got things going on. When you're on it, you're unplugging the Groundhog machine and you're becoming the person that you want to be. You can't do it if we just go numbly through life 95% of the time in our unconscious brain. That's the most primitive part of our brain, by the way. So can we make a deal then? No more Groundhog Day. We'll celebrate today. It's Groundhog Day. But you can Groundhog Day all you want when you clean the toilet or when you're changing the sheets or whatever it is, whatever task on hand that you have to do to get your house right or whatever. But let's make a deal that we'll be present and mindful with our meals, that we'll be present and mindful in our relationships, and present and mindful with our own personal growth and our own personal development. We have one life to live. One. This is the only body we're going to get. This is it. This is it. So if we can connect to those 2 things and we can decide that this bodysuit of ours is going to take us the full distance, we're going to feed it and nurture it and care for it the same way that we would our own children, the same way we do our car. I mean, we can take better care of our cars than we do our bodies, don't we? If we can make that kind of a thing and be that mindful, we are going to change everything. We're going to change everything, and it's going to be gradual. It's going to be graceful, and it's going to be something that you can attain simply because you made the decision that Groundhog Day happens 1 time a year. It's not a daily occurrence. What about that? Rebecca says, "Pinkies up, lovelies." I agree. Pinkies up. Let's get the quality of life that we want, and it all starts with making that decision that Groundhog Day is a once-a-year occurrence. Deal? I like that. Alrighty, don't forget, tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wise Women's Wednesday. You are going to want to be here. I promise I've got something good for you. Peace be with you. Appreciate you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, Pinkies up.